We're here today to recognize the Eisenhower Junior High that put on your good man Charlie Brown. They have a long tradition of putting on a play in the spring, and I had the opportunity to see it along with Trustee Green, and they once again did a fabulous job. You can forget that these are junior high students when you watch the play. Between the acting, the singing, the scenery, and the professionalism they exhibit is really quite extraordinary. At this point, I'd like to ask Karen Weinzierl, who's the director of this play, to talk about your tradition there at Eisenhower and how you came to pick this particular play.
Well, our tradition at Eisenhower started a couple of years ago, I think 4 years ago now, with actually the Music Man. And we set our expectations very high, decided to do something new, all the way from costuming and the full elaborate production of a musical. Not what the kids are really used to coming out of elementary school, going into junior high. So it takes a commitment from the entire community. It is not something that I or my assistant director, Mrs. Harmon here, that we could do ourselves, because it's impossible for us to do something this big of a production.
Sorry, did any of the kids know who Charlie Brown was?
Yes, a lot of the kids knew, but I will tell you, a lot of the kids did a lot of researching. I think through the journey and through the process, you know, they learn a lot about acting. They learn how to become a character, and I don't mean just if you're Sally or Charlie Brown or Snoopy. I'm talking about all of the kids that are a part of the ensemble. They learn from very early on in our casting that they need to become a character, and they need to work on that character on stage. And matter of fact, they even wrote like character synopsises of their character in the ensemble. They gave themselves names. They weren't, you know, the alto in the ensemble. They gave themselves a character, and it really does show. So my hats off to them.
Was that real, or was that
No, that was Kelly Rotman, and Kelly Rotman is quite an athlete, and she shared with me that she does, you know, 3-4 sports a year like nothing. She never is injured. She's always, you know, and she said, how could this happen the week before Tech Week that, you know, I have this kind of injury? So she was in a, you know, in a boot, and she on her own, you know, she decorated her, she was Woodstock, so she decorated her crutches in yellow, and she made sure that the doctor knew this was going to have to be yellow. This is all going to have to work. We are going to work this into the show.
I didn't know it was part of it.
Exactly.
It was good.
And I will say, I really think that really shows the kind of commitment and the work ethic the kids have for this age. To me, that says so much. Most of the kids, the great high percentage, high majority of the kids have never been involved in a musical, in a full production. So I think for them to, you know, have done what they've done, you know, over these past 4 or 5 months is, you know, is quite remarkable. I'm very, very proud of them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it speaks highly of Ms. Weinzierl and Mrs. Harmon that they can get that kind of effort out of young people. It's really great. I think it's impressive that you could assume the characters of these people. And I think you learn something when you read the literature of previous generations. There probably isn't any one of us of a certain age that didn't identify with Charlie Brown. Everybody has their Charlie Brown days, and he does really, I think, speak to everybody.
And kids now.
And kids now, exactly. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
People are still people, no matter whether they're 12 or they're 50 or 70. They're still people. And, I'm just really impressed. What really impresses me with this effort is the involvement of all the moms and dads, the business community. They do an ad book. They really go all out. And it really is a professional production. It's like going to a play at the Goodman Theater or something. You get the handbill, you get the booklet, you get the history of the characters, and it's really quite impressive. And
well, when I originally decided to do the production, you know, 4 years ago when we started with Music Man, that was my vision. My vision was that this was going to be a very collaborative effort. I didn't know if it was going to work, but that was my vision, and I was either going to do it that way or I didn't want to do it, because I wanted the kids to be able to experience the end result of what it really feels like after all of those months and all the pieces fit together. And I kept telling them over the months, trust me, everything will fall together. Your hard work will pay off. It will, you know, in just that persistence through those months. And it is a collaborative effort, and it starts actually at the school district level, because administratively, I would not be able to do this in my building if I did not have support from my administration, from the flexibility of so many teachers, just, I mean, the list goes on. And then, of course, like you said, my parent community, the business community, there's definitely, a financial elements to putting on a musical like this. So we are 100% self-funded. Our musical is, everything we fundraise on our own, and, we just don't accept that it can't work. We don't accept that, oh, they're just junior high kids. They don't need all this. They don't need to be doing this. We just felt our vision from the beginning, we just wouldn't accept that because we really believe that they do. So.
And they did, and we applaud you for that. We do have a certificate of recognition for everyone that we'll give to Mrs. Weinzer and Mrs. Harmon. And I'm looking forward to the play next year. I had the opportunity to go to all four, and I want to keep that tradition alive too. But we're very impressed with what you did. And we like to recognize the young people in our community, people of all ages who do impressive things, and you did. It was a wonderful play, and you're real pros. So. But don't break a leg,
Really. And Mayor McLeod, I would like to say also on behalf of Mrs. Harmon and I, and all of the kids, all our parent community, and the trustees, Village of Hoffman Estates, we would like to thank you, because this is very special. This is not something that's ordinary, and we get recognized for what we do, in our little building over, down there. So it really does mean a lot to us. So thank you so much. So thank you.